The Surface RT is the smaller, less powerful and cheaper Surface tablet. With its somewhat stripped down version of Windows, it can't really rival the full-fat Windows 8 Pro model, nor can it truly replace a laptop. It does, however, have great potential as an ultra-portable laptop alternative. So Windows 8 RT is designed to run on ARM-chipped devices and looks a lot like a full version of Windows 8 Pro with the colourful Metro tile interface and the more conventional Windows desktop. Thing is, most standard desktop applications won't install or run on RT, so you're stuck with what's available in the Windows Store. So no Google Chrome, no Audible, no Spotify and no Facebook app. But your Facebook and Twitter accounts are synced within Microsoft's People and messaging apps. You also get a preview version of Office for RT that will be upgraded to full versions once the software is finalised, though they seem perfectly fine as they are. And if it's productivity you want, the basics are there. Email is seamless enough, especially through the Mail app if you have a Hotmail address, but it also loaded Gmail pretty quickly too. Compared to the iPad or even the Nexus 7, the Surface is going to feel big. That's because it is. Combined with a thinner waist than the iPad, the Surface feels freakishly tall and narrow when turned to portrait. Its shape is defined by its 16:9 screen ratio, but its untapered design makes it feel thicker than it is. But there's no denying the Surface has a reassuringly solid build quality and buttons and ports feel strong. It uses a proprietary connector, which we found tricky to place, has a full-size USB 2.0 and micro HDMI ports, headphone jack and volume rocker. And under the flip-out kickstand, there's a micro SDXC card for adding up to 64 gig of external storage. Now on the bottom lives the magnetic connector for either the touch or type covers, which connect with a snap and won't come unattached without a determined yank. Now while both are responsive, the type cover ought to be better for typing, but actually feels flimsier. Interestingly, the Surface knows whether your keyboard cover is in use or folded up behind, presenting an on-screen keyboard if necessary, giving you the choice of flipping through the live tile interface with the touchscreen or using the keyboard's trackpad. And there are various keyboard shortcuts and touchscreen gestures to flip between apps and files. Now while you can make the jump to a more conventional Windows desktop, there are only a few apps you can open in Windows and drag around, like a Word document and an Internet Explorer page for example, but multitasking is made easy with the ability to snap windows to the left and right of the screen. The Surface's Tegra 3 engine handles HD movies confidently, and despite the screen's relatively measly 1366 by 768 pixel resolution, image quality is good, text rendering is mostly sharp, and Internet Explorer whizzes through Flash and HTML5 heavy sites. Battery life is also excellent. After running an HD movie all the way through twice, then mucking about browsing, emailing for over an hour, the Surface still had 50% battery. RT gaming is a tad disappointing though. Due to its limitations, you're left with the limited and uninspiring games on the Windows Store. Still, games like Hydro Thunder proves that it should be more than capable of handling graphically intensive titles once they arrive. And if Skyping is more your thing, the 720p cameras with twin microphones and stereo speakers work just fine. And that's the Surface RT. It's certainly well made, and while its screen is inferior to the Retina iPad, it works well for movies, and the Windows 8 interface looks fresh and funky. On the other hand, it's big, and the clumsy separation between the Metro experience and the inflexible Windows desktop might make you wish you'd bought the full-fat version. And of course, it still needs more apps. So while it may be cool, it might be just a little too niche for some, and therefore compromised compared to getting an iPad or a laptop. But if you're after a device that breaks away from the norm, the Surface could be everything you've been looking for.